Hello, hello. This is the 102nd Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2223, which we are sending from our present to yours. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. Oh, I almost forgot that last sentence.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put that in.
Mm-hmm. It's important.
For today, we have a really exciting topic. Mm-hmm. I can reveal already. It's the Astro Mirror, because I'm quite excited about it.
Yep, get straight to the title.
But we have some news about the news.
From a few episodes ago.
Exactly. I'm not sure if everybody remembers, but we mentioned a few episodes ago that it was a new alien race discovered.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's pretty exciting.
And what turns out?
It was not for real. So it was a footage of an old television show.
From Earth.
From Earth, right. Not even an alien television show. An old Earth television show from the 1980s.
Yeah, which was pretty funny, actually. Mm-hmm. It's called Elf.
You mean the show itself was funny?
Yeah.
Like you watched a couple of episodes, yeah?
Yeah. It's Elf, and it's the footage that was apparently sent into space a really long time ago and just kind of circled back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, must have bounced off something or...
And nobody really here knew this, and we all thought, this is coming from outer space. It's some really... And it's the footage was really fuzzy because it's, from a few centuries ago.
Mm-hmm.
We
right,
just didn't have...
Exactly, they had low quality video back then.
Definitely low quality, yeah. And the Illuminati and the Martians, at the time, they were super interested because usually they know all kinds of stuff about what's happening in space by the time we discover it. And they were like, whoa, we don't know this. What cool stuff did you find out? And then, especially the Illuminati, were not amused.
No. Once they learned, it wasn't an intentional joke, but they saw it like we were playing a joke on them.
Yeah. I think on Earth, everybody just had a laugh.
Yeah.
Haha, it's not an alien race. It's our own stuff. Yeah. But actually, it was a pretty funny series. Mm-hmm. Except for the bit where the alien actually tries to eat a cat.
Yeah, sure. That's not good for cats.
Yeah. But at least in all of the episodes that I saw, he never managed.
Okay, yeah. Maybe that's saved for the final episode. He gets to have a banquet.
Exactly, a cat banquet. Maybe if we wrap up quick enough, we can watch some episodes after the show.
I'd like that, yeah.
No.
But there's other stuff to do. Not today, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say because you have to go, right?
Exactly. Today, after we record here, I'm going to the opera.
Nice.
I'm going to wear a suit for a change. I usually don't wear suits, suit and tie, but I'm going to dress up a bit.
Cool. I see already I have most of the suit on, so...
Yeah.
So we shouldn't go too much off topic today, I guess.
Not too far.
Okay. So not like a 49-minute episode.
Let's try not to this week.
Okay. But you've got 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. Well, I would say on to the actual topic of the week. Mm-hmm. The Astro Mirror.
Exactly, as you mentioned at the start.
Can I mention how we got it?
Please do, yeah. I think it's not a secret.
It's I got it through my mom, who got it from a friend of hers, and because she found out through my mom that we are talking about modern tech.
Yeah,
and I thought that was quite cute. Like, hey, doesn't your son have some weird hobby? And isn't that something to do with technology? I guess moms talk to each other.
Sure.
And then it's like...
it works out well. Yeah, like we have a topic for this episode. Yeah. And presumably your mum's friend didn't want that Astro Mirror anymore, so gets to pass it along.
Yeah, I didn't actually question this, like how come she doesn't want it anymore or how she got it in the first place. But it was pretty cute. When I got to my mom's place, she was like, hey, I have something for you. Yeah. And it's pretty big. So, it fit in the teleporter, but it's standing in your room now, but and I thought it was kind of cute. Usually we have to find our own topics. There's plenty of stuff.
Occasionally we get like a time capsule or the like, but for the most part we need to.
Or you won this Jupiter gear and the Jupiter contest.
The jet pants and lava boots.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But most of the time it's like, okay, what can we talk about? And then sometimes I remember we found the young star in the trash almost.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's how we get our stuff. Now we get it as presents from people who know you guys are into this.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we can always take it to the tech drop.
We can do
like we did with the youngster.
When we don't have a use for it ourselves.
Yeah. So you want to describe What is so cool about this mirror?
I mean, I'll start it, but then I think it's a long list, yeah. So I'll start off, and then we can go back.
But I think it's also like it's not just a normal mirror.
Correct.
That's it. Like it's the Astro Mirror.
I was going to say you can probably guess from the name of it. It has the word Astro at the start. That gives you a clue. One of its main, one of the things it can do that's super cool is it can show you the positions of all the constellations, including any recent modifications to them. Mm-hmm. And the positions are based on where you are in the solar system.
Yeah. I mean, that's like no other mirror can do this.
No.
Like it also, even to come up with the idea to have that in a mirror, that's already pretty crazy. But
I think it makes sense. Like when it's nighttime and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and behind you in the window, you can see the stars through the window. Mm-hmm. This tells you what constellations are there. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's also. I think it has many great features, and we will not mention all of them because they're like countless. But I think this is one of the defining ones where it also got its name a little bit, the Astro Mirror.
Yeah, right. The next one too, actually, because also, so it can tell you what the weather's going to be. Sure, you're getting dressed in the morning, it tells you what the weather's going to be like for the rest of the day. But the Astro part comes in because it also can tell you what the weather will be like anywhere in the solar system, so not just anywhere on Earth, but on any other planet, in the asteroid belt and so on. And it even includes solar storms as well.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's exactly. That's really, really great. Mm-hmm. And I also noticed it tells the time apparently in London.
Yeah, as well, exactly. Like we're in Frankfurt.
Yeah,
but it also tells us the time in London.
Actually, it just tells the time in London.
Oh, it doesn't even say in Frankfurt. No. Okay, so you need to know. Okay.
Yeah, but
you need to adjust it yourself.
I guess maybe they made it there, or I don't know what the reason is, but so it just tells the time in London. Okay, so just in case you want to know the time in London, the Astro Mirror is your friend.
Otherwise, you just look on your watch, your lens, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I have the Frankfurt time on my lens permanently, but my mirror tells the time in London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I like is the speech functionality, obviously, and specifically, or actually that's the only part that I've got working, is it can rhyme anything you say in any language.
Like it will generate a rhyme for you, yeah?
Exactly, including alien ones.
Nice.
So I guess also that I think whenever they have a functionality where you can tie in some sort of intergalactic dimension, because of Astro Mirror they put it in there, so they also have the languages of the Parsians and the Illuminati in there. Yeah. And then anything you can say, this can be a word or a sentence, and it can rhyme it. Yeah. Nice. And it like the default setting is it will rhyme it in some language. So you tell it something in some language, it will rhyme in some other language. Yep. But apparently you can set it that it is in the same language that you mentioned.
So if you wanted to generate some kind of poem.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, like if I speak Ethiopian, it can rhyme to me in Latin or something, or it basically decides what could rhyme best in some language,
sure.
And it will give
and not just the sound of the rhyme, but maybe what the rhyme means in that language.
Oh, good point, actually. Probably, yeah. But you can apparently then set it to actually rhyme back at you in Ethiopian.
Right.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. And I mean, this... I guess this doesn't sound as impressive maybe to some, but for me what I really like is when you switch it on, it will play one of 3 different startup chimes, but it's random, so it'll always be a different, well, you don't know which one will come next. I quite like that.
I know, it's also this little surprise factor every time you switch it on, which tune comes out of it, although when I had it in my place, I had it on actually permanently. I switched it on and off. I switched it off twice to get new tunes. So, but to be honest, I got the one every time, so I just got unlucky. Okay. But
I'm wondering, maybe when it's my birthday, it will play a different song specifically for my birthday.
Yeah, or maybe just got lucky, or
maybe, or maybe like for celebrate certain holidays,
Yeah, or maybe the other 2 were broken, or like not pet, or not. Yeah, but I thought that was also pretty cool, and then. Presumably you can listen to podcasts on it.
Almost certainly, yeah. You can listen to podcasts on anything.
True, actually, yeah.
Would make sense. You can listen to them on that on the Astro Mirror too.
I can listen to podcasts on my Congo. That's what Green Cell says.
Yeah. So you say, but have you done so?
No. I mean, I saw it in the manual, but I didn't actually.
I mean, it's the kind of thing where everything can play podcasts, but sure, at least myself, I tend to just listen to it on the one, in one way,
I have it on my Orjones permanently, but. Yeah, but of course, I mean, but then on the other hand, like if the device, like in this case, the Astro Mirror can't actually play podcast, then it's like, how cool can this be if it can't even play podcast?
Right, exactly. So, if you can't subscribe to tests from the future, where's the value in the thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's pretty. So we're saying you can listen to podcasts on any device, regardless of where that device is.
Yeah.
So if you're deep underwater, or under really high pressure, or in zero gravity in a vacuum, either way, you can listen to. So it will work. So I'm talking about podcasts to be a bit funny here, but the full functionality of the Astro Mirror functions in those places. How does it do it in a vacuum? It generates a local atmosphere around itself, so you have a little air bubble that you can hear things.
But that's the thing. It's like that means that no matter where you are or no matter where you plan on going, you can always take your Astro Mirror with you,
and it will be of great assistance
because it will work. I mean, and not everything works.
No.
As if you take a pot to a volcano, it will start to melt. Not an Astro Mirror.
True.
If you want to have your Congo produce some nice lemonade in zero gravity, oh boy, that's going to be messy. But yes, the mirror is going to be working just fine. Of course, you need to kind of float to the right side of the mirror to be able to
use
it.
Doesn't. It's not. It doesn't generate artificial gravity.
Yeah,
that's true.
And it doesn't like auto detect where you are, so you kind of have to follow it around or figure something out. But it works.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. You know what I've used it for?
What's that?
I've used it to slice my bread with lasers.
Of course, it's got lasers.
It's got lasers. It can do all kinds of stuff. Like I think they were initially meant to be decorative. Like if it operates, lasers shoot out. But apparently they actually burn through stuff.
Okay, so you can use them to. And so when it slices the bread, is it toasting it at the same time?
It does actually, yeah.
Nice.
And but of course it's a little tricky. You have to position your bread just right, and then switch it on, and then switch it off, and then and then reposition your bread, and then switch it on and off again. And then
the lasers aren't so articulate, like they don't move in all directions.
No, exactly. So it's a little bit tricky, and you have to, of course, be a little bit careful.
You don't slice off your fingers.
Exactly, yeah. And then of course, with switching it off, I meant the actual function off and on,
just
not
like the lasers.
Because if you switch the device on and off again and then on again, it does a lot of.
It takes a while to boot up.
Yeah, exactly. So, the same lasers can make tea.
Makes sense. Any hot drink.
Yeah. So the same thing. Yeah, you have to position it. Of course, like the cup needs to be then laser proof.
Yep.
So the laser beams at the cup, but then the tea starts to boil.
Yeah, rather than the cup itself exploding.
And I think like that's also where they all sat together in Astro Mirror's headquarters and say, we need to add something. We need to have a new thing to mention in our communication.
Sure. Yeah.
How about lasers? You can make anything cool with lasers.
I mean, definitely. And as part of that, also, it's not just that it all this functionality we described. I mentioned, you can use it bottom of the ocean, in outer space. You can also use it in the chorus verse.
True.
They work together with those guys, and then while you're in the chorus verse, it's not literally your Astro Mirror. But within the chorus verse, you have the Astro Mirror with all the same functionality.
True.
Like a representation of it.
Exactly, because it connects to it. And if you don't have one, in the chorus verse, you don't have one either. So essentially, when you get one, you get two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually also pretty cool, yeah. The lasers don't work in the chorus verse.
No, they don't.
No.
I mean, visually, you can see them, but they don't heat things up.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense.
No. Yeah, I mean, the list is pretty long, but I took a look at their most recent brochure. And I noticed at the back, they've won a bunch of prizes.
Right, yeah. It's got those little laurel leaves.
Yeah, it's like
a bunch of those.
Those are like Game of the Year or Gadget of the Year, these kind of things.
Yeah.
They actually got Gadget of the Year.
Oh, I mean, of course, yeah, that's one you would expect. But they've also got a couple which are maybe... at least traditionally would be pretty unusual for a device like this. So they got it's won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
And you would think it doesn't have anything to do with world peace.
Not with world peace, no, but because there's been world peace for so many decades now, like the prize really has become more to me now. It's more awarded, usually to products actually, basically that make things more peaceful.
Yeah, to basically
daily life.
Keep the general public happy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because we have had world peace for many decades now. There's not really something like, oh, this kind of initiative contributed to us getting closer to world peace. It's now kind of like things that contribute to everybody being happy and not starting fighting again.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Nobel Peace Prize for the Astro Mirror. That's you can boast that.
Definitely, and they do.
And the other one I noticed, another one is the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
And also one that got repurposed, but that was actually kind of involuntarily because they awarded fake news too often with really journalistic prizes, and then it basically got devalued. Like, these guys don't know what they're talking about, so they kind of needed to find something new to award. Yeah, and then they turned to gadgets. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So we have an Astro Mirror with lasers and star constellations and big prizes. Yeah. There's one thing I did realize as we were talking about it, because especially, you know, I guess I'm going out in a bit and I need to do my tie and things like that. But I noticed I cannot see my reflection in the Astro Mirror. Your reflection? Yeah, you know, like in a regular mirror, you use it to see yourself. I was mentioning earlier, you know, how you're in the middle of the night looking at yourself in the mirror for some reason, and you would see the stars reflected through the window behind you. But actually looking at it here now, it's got like a matte finish, and, you know, I can see all these other things we've talked about, but actually it's not reflective anymore. I say anymore, like compared to a mirror. Yeah, your reflection. Let me if you quickly... Look, can you see? No, I know I don't, and I hadn't thought of it, but it's true. I don't actually see myself. Yeah. Let me put a brochure up on my lens. Does it mention like the reflectivity? Is that like an extra feature maybe, or? I'm searching for reflection now. It doesn't mention anything about this. Huh. Okay, so it doesn't actually reflect you? Not anymore. I mean, I'm presuming at some point it did, and maybe it wasn't a feature that most customers made use of, so they've left it off now in favor of something else. Or maybe they, after so many different updates every year, at one point that feature just didn't work anymore and nobody noticed. Yeah, well, maybe, you know, whoever was responsible for that part of the product, you know, they left the company at some point and then no one took over that role. So it just kind of got forgotten. But it's true, like, because the thing is facing us right now, but you don't see us either. Huh. Okay, so it's useful for all these other things, but I'm sure I'll need to look somewhere else to get ready for the later. Okay, well, okay, so it's one feature out of many that. Yeah, but all those other things are super amazing. Okay, so it's just an Astro Mirror that doesn't show your reflection. Okay, there's a nice summary. Do we let's get some? We have some questions from some weeks ago now from Felix. He asked us so many, and figured let's answer a couple more of them. Today. So the first one. This is a PS, right? Because there was some episodes ago. Felix wrote to us. He asked some questions, and then there was a PS, a PPS, a PPPS, and so on and so on. We've actually still got them in here. Let's do two of them. So the very first PS. Can you make an episode where you ask people on the street what they think life back in 2022 looked like? That is a solid idea. I thought the same thing. Yeah. That is great. We should totally try that. I think that's a really good idea. Yeah, thanks for the idea, Felix. We're not going to do it right now. We're wrapping this episode up, but we will in a future episode. Yeah. Yep, and then the next one I'm going to read here. Okay, so PPPPS. Have you been to Alpha Centauri yet? That's an easy answer. Easy answer. So you can go first. No. And likewise, no, I have not been either. Yeah, we haven't, and as far as we know, nobody. There's no Earth, no... humans, robots, folk originating from Earth. Actually, right, my first thought was that Felix was asking specifically whether you, Dirk, or myself, Simon, had been, but maybe he was asking more broadly, you know. As in anybody. Yeah, so we have not, Felix. And we're guessing, although I'm not sure, like the Illuminati and the Parsians, they come from solar systems way further back, so they may have or they may haven't. They're actually not from Alpha Centauri, so they may have just passed it by. I'm not sure how exciting it is, but we've just had last year for the first time having people leaving the solar system.
Correct, yeah. But that's much closer to Earth than Alpha Centauri.
Exactly, but they are our neighbors. It would just be nice.
Yeah, closest star or closest star system, but still pretty far away.
Yeah, exactly. It's we have some really fancy technology, but not that fast.
Not yet.
Okay,
I think that's it for now.
It is.
We'll come back to some more of those PPSs in the future.
Definitely, there are some more.
Yeah, still
PPSs
a couple left. But then I'm gonna let folk know. So when you're listening to this episode, we'd like to know that you're listening to this episode. The way you can tell us that you are is by writing to michaellasagna5@gmail.com and putting the episode number in the title, which in this case is 102. And any questions you might have, you can write those in the email as well.
Exactly. With PS or PPS if they want.
When you have a lot to ask, yeah. You can use paragraphs too.
Okay. Well, that's it for the Astro Mirror. Or should we just say Astro, because it didn't have a mirror?
It sounds better when you put the word mirror on the end. Sure. It's like if you called a smartphone just a smart, because no one actually uses it as a phone. Smart doesn't really make sense.
True. Okay, but that's it.
Enough for the Astro Mirror.
Exactly. And to you, the listener, thanks for listening, and see you in 200 years.
Bye-bye.